January 9, 2026, marks the definitive end of the hybrid era and the birth of a new technical titan. At the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya, the morning mist was shattered by a sound that echoed the ambitions of an entire nation. The Audi R26, a project that has lived in the shadows of Nürburgring for 5 years, has finally met the asphalt. While Audi attempted to mask the car's secrets in their official teasers with Gaussian blur and strategic lighting, amateur footage captured from the legendary Turn 13 has provided us with the first uncensored look at F1's future. This isn't just a shakedown, it's a technological manifesto. From its radical 1900mm diet to the aggressive return of pushrod suspension, the R26 is a laboratory on wheels designed to exploit every grey area of the 2026 rulebook. Today, FormulaPerspective deconstructs every millimeter of the leaked footage to reveal the engineering DNA of Mattia Binotto's first F1 weapon. The 2026 war hasn't just started, it has already found its first predator. Join us as we step inside the data streams of Barcelona to witness the birth of a superpower. The visual impact of the Audi R26 is defined by one word: slim. Under the 2026 regulations, Formula 1 cars have undergone a mandatory 100mm reduction in width, bringing the total footprint down to 1900mm. In the leaked footage, the Audi appears significantly more agile and leaner than the ground effect giants of 2025. This shrunken profile is a strategic response to the massive drag reduction required by the new 50-50 power split. Audi has implemented a high-nose architecture, which opens a massive channel for air to reach the underbody, compensating for the reduced floor area of the new rules. By making the car narrower, Audi is betting on straight-line efficiency and nimble direction changes, a strategy that Mattia Binotto believes will be crucial for the tighter, more technical tracks of the 2026 calendar. Every millimeter of the R26's bodywork has been shrink-wrapped around the internal components, minimizing the frontal area to cut through the air with surgical precision. This isn't just a rule follower, it's a design that uses the new dimensions to find a drag reduction advantage that could redefine the entire pecking order. Audi has managed to make a 1900mm car look as imposing as its wider predecessors, proving that in 2026, size truly matters. Perhaps the most significant mechanical revelation from Barcelona is Audi's front suspension geometry. For the past 2 seasons, the Sauber-led project followed the trend of pull-rod front suspension, popularized by Red Bull and McLaren for its anti-dive benefits in heavy ground effect cars. However, the R26 has executed a radical pivot back to a pushrod arrangement. The footage clearly shows the suspension arm originating from the upper edge of the chassis and connecting to the lower part of the wheel upright. This suggests that the 2026 era, with its softer spring rates and reduced sensitivity to minute ride height changes, has made the pushrod's packaging and aero linkage benefits more valuable than the pullrod's complex internal geometry. Audi's decision to abandon the pullrod trend signals a clean-sheet engineering philosophy focused on mechanical accessibility and front-end airflow. By moving the internal dampers and rockers higher within the bulkhead, they have cleared the path for more aggressive airflow into the sidepod inlets, proving that Audi is not here to inherit Sauber's past, but to forge its own mechanical future. This pushrod setup will likely provide a more consistent platform during the transition between active aero modes, ensuring the car remains stable as the wings shift from Z mode to X mode. While the rest of the grid is expected to double down on the Red Bull downwash concept, Audi has unveiled a startling inward-wash sidepod philosophy that could change the aerodynamic landscape of F1. The bodywork of the R26 pinches inward with surgical precision toward the rear, creating a massive channel that accelerates air away from the rear tire turbulence and wraps it tightly around the engine cover. This inward wash strategy is designed to maximize the suction of the rear diffuser in an era where the floor has lost significant ground effect area due to the narrower regulations. If Audi can maintain flow attachment on these aggressive inward curves, the R26 will possess a level of aerodynamic efficiency that could embarrass the established elite. This design carries the tactical signature of Mattia Binotto, a rejection of the safe, common solution in favor of a unique aerodynamic signature that leverages the compact packaging of the Nürburgring power unit. The inward wash design also helps manage the thermal wake of the 2026 engine more effectively, pulling hot air away from the rear wing and into the low-pressure zone behind the car. Audi is betting on a clean air strategy that prioritizes rear-end stability and drag reduction above all else, marking a definitive departure from the copycat culture of the previous years. Then, there is the acoustic fingerprint, the first real-world sound of the 2026 revolution. For years, fans have criticized the muffled industrial drone of the hybrid units, but the Audi R26 has introduced what observers call a lively and vibrant character. With the removal of the MGU-H, the turbochargers are no longer silenced by the heat energy recovery system, allowing for a more authentic V6 roar. Additionally, the massive 350 kilowatt output of the MGU-K has added a high-tension electrical whine to the acoustic profile, creating a futuristic high-frequency surge that accompanies the combustion. In the Barcelona footage, the engine sounds crisp, especially during initial acceleration, where the instant 40-70 horsepower of the electric motor meets the raw power of the internal combustion heart. The energy recovery sounds under braking are also significantly more prominent, signaling the intense regeneration cycles required to keep the battery charged for the next 350 kilowatt deployment. It doesn't just sound like an engine, it sounds like a high-voltage machine fighting for every joule of energy. Audi's power unit, developed in the high-pressure dyno cells of Newburgh, sounds operationally stable and remarkably refined for a debutant project, sending a clear message that their internal combustion and electrical integration is already at a world-class level. The rear of the R26 reveals the structural scaffolding of the 2026 active aero era. Moving away from the single central pillar seen on almost every car on the current grid, Audi has implemented a robust twin-pillar rear-wing support system. This is a choice born from absolute mechanical necessity. With the 2026 wings required to move between high downforce Z mode and low drag X mode several times per lap, the aerodynamic loads on the actuators and supports are immense. The twin-pillar setup provides the structural rigidity required for lightning-fast wing transitions without vibration or mechanical fatigue under extreme load. This design ensures that as the X mode activates on the straights, the wing remains perfectly stable, maximizing the drag reduction benefit without compromising the balance of the narrower chassis. We can also see the dual actuators integrated into the pillars, suggesting that Audi's active aero system is controlled with a level of precision that their rivals are still testing in simulators. Audi is clearly building for strength and precision, knowing that the 2026 championship will be won or lost in the reliability and speed of these moving aero components. The R26 isn't just a car, it's an active, breathing organism designed to manipulate the atmosphere at 340 kilometers. Finally, we must look at the front wing, the car's first point of contact with the air and the gateway to its entire aerodynamic performance. Audi has adopted an aggressive in-wash philosophy, strictly adhering to the FIA's new mandates to minimize outwash turbulence. The end plates feature a unique base plate and an upward curved structure designed to pull air toward the chassis rather than pushing it around the front tires. This strategy is critical for the 2026 goal of closer racing, but for Audi, it's also a way to feed the raised nose and the inward wash sidepods more effectively. Every element of the R26 front end is synchronized to work with the narrower 1,900mm width, ensuring that the air is managed from the millimeter it hits the carbon fiber until it leaves the rear diffuser. We can see flow conditioning strakes on the upper flaps, designed to keep the air attached even at high yaw angles. Audi has analyzed the rulebook and found a way to turn a restrictive mandate into a cohesive aerodynamic advantage. They aren't just following the FIA's safety rules, they are leading the interpretation of the new era's airflow logic, proving that Mattia Binotto's Ferrari heritage is now the foundation of Audi's F1 success. Audi's shakedown in Barcelona wasn't just a technical exercise, it was a psychological opening gambit that has put the entire grid on notice. By being the first known team to hit the track with a legitimate 2026 contender, they have sent a message of operational readiness that will ring through the boardrooms of Mercedes, Ferrari, and Red Bull. The R26 looks balanced, technically distinct, and remarkably integrated for a project starting from a blank sheet of paper. As the official tests begin later this month, the world will finally see the full grid in high definition, but the low-res leaks from Turn 13 have already told us the most important story. The 2026 war has started, and Audi has fired the first, most powerful shot. The four rings are no longer a distant prospect, they are a reality on the asphalt. What do you think about the lively sound and the pushrod return? Is Audi already ahead of the traditional giants? Let us know in the comments below. This is Formula Perspective, and the future is finally on track. Subscribe to stay ahead of the technical curve. We'll see you at the first green light in Barcelona.